Hello, I'm Pennie Aston. I'm a dyslexic aware counsellor, and through this week, Dyslexia Awareness Week, we're going to be having a look at some ideas about dyslexic identity and dyslexic well-being. We came up with the idea at GroOops of the 8 Ds of dyslexic identity, and they are D for dilemmas, dramas, DVD, dyslexic verbal diarrhea, discussions, don'ts, do's, and delight. And the delight is about bringing together a sense of dyslexic identity that fits well with the person. So some of the dilemmas are the things that we can't do much about. The dramas are the things that we can make far bigger than they really are. The DVD, talking too much, not really listening to what's going on, is usually a basis from anxiety, which we will again look at. And discussions are about getting everything into a sense of understanding. So I hope you'll join us as we go through the week. When everything fits together, we've got this sense of dyslexic identity, and the dilemmas that kind of come our way are fairly universal for each dyslexic person, but in our experience we've found that many don't realise that it's linked to their dyslexia. So you won't be unsurprised to hear that we're not great at remembering things, that short-term working memory, that kind of scratch pad. We have to do things over and over again in order to accommodate it, and we can very easily get overwhelmed by the amount of things we are trying to remember or have to do, and when we're overwhelmed we get into a state of anxiety and frankly nothing gets done. We can also find it really hard to find the right words. Instead of the word coming into the mind and being able to incorporate it in our sentences, we kind of struggle, again, often to do with anxiety. And the environment itself can prove to make us really kind of oversensitive. So if you have a sensitivity to light, to sound, to temperature, if you're working in an open plan office, these are all things that really impact on the dyslexic's ability to concentrate on the tasks that they are attempting to do. There's also a sense of quite exhausting simultaneous thinking. I always think it's a bit like having a hat with lots of springs on and a ping pong ball at the end. They're all different ideas and they're all really, really important, but you can't action them all at the same time, because each time they bang into each other there's another idea, there's another thought process going on. We also find change quite difficult. So all our little strategies that we may or may not consciously be aware of get thrown into disarray when we might suddenly be asked, oh, can you just do this in the next 5 minutes? Or to the big things like moving house, it all becomes very overwhelming. So I do find change very difficult. And we can have a tendency to either being rather disorganised or, on the other side, having strategies that keep everything very strictly in order. So that's just the first area of dyslexic dilemmas that we're going to be looking at, and I hope you will join me in the next session when we will be looking at dyslexic dramas.